Here we are in Hastings seafront. Or St. I'm not quite sure which is which because both the same. And there we got a lot of seafront buildings there. Got the promenade there, pier there. Let's have a look at it, see what we've got here. Oh, what a Christmas market run over. And holy moly, look what we've got here. We've got the same thing, look. That was the original ground level down there. Built that was the original door through there. You can't quite see it. There's a door there. And then there's some kind of mud flood. There's some event. And this event has raised the level of the ground to this height. Yeah, you hear me? Buried the first floors. And someone's come along later, reclaimed them. So how would you do that? You'd have to dig all this hole out again, wouldn't you? You'd have to dig the whole street out, the whole town. Or what you could do, you just dig about 3 foot, 4 or 5 foot across, build some steps down to it, and you'd be able to go and utilise the ground floor again, wouldn't you? Become separate apartments, yeah? Do me? Because you wanted to keep that as a separate apartment, or a flat, as we say. There's a door there, look. Then you'd have to go into the front door, wouldn't you? You have to use the front door, and then go down some steps, yeah? So, it's a way to separate the apartments, yeah? Now this is all across England, all across Scotland, yeah, and probably Wales. I haven't seen many in Wales. I'm sure there are. And if you pick any random town on the south coast, yeah, you'll see this is the typical style of building on the seafront, or in town. In Hastings, there's more inland as well. I'm sure there's examples. And there we go. And this is about a mile long, maybe. Yeah. 3/4 of a mile long. Mud flood buildings all the way. Think about it, yeah. Who's going to build a building, yeah? And the designer came up to the architect and said, "What we're going to do? We're going to build a door 4 foot in the air, yeah. So you have to build some steps to climb up to it." Doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah. And there's some that's really higher than that, yeah. So why on earth would you ever design a building where the front door is 4 or 5 foot in the air, and then you'd have to build some steps, or you'd automatically build them straight, wouldn't you? There'd be no possible reason whatsoever to build a door 4 or 5 foot in the air and then build some steps up to it, would there? Doesn't make sense, does it? So the theory is that there was some event, a mud flood, that buried all these buildings were already built, and we think they call it a reset, yeah? Now the last reset I think was about 1820. So I think all these buildings here, they were all built before 1820. Yeah? And maybe that was the time of the flood. The flood came in, buried all these buildings up to this level here, and years later, they utilised the building what's above ground, but then maybe later on, maybe 1800, late 1800s, 1900s, they wanted to utilise these buildings again, so they redesigned them. So they dug down, dug all the ground out, so all the doors are visible again, and they're able to use them again. Yeah. And then they built some steps up to the front door. Well, there's some steps that would have been already there, weren't there? Because that was how they got to the building in the first place. So they've I thought this was strange. You know, when I first came to this town about 20 odd years ago, you see all these railings here, picket railings, we call them, cast iron railings, yeah. But everywhere else in the country, I've been in different towns all over England, and everywhere else, these railings have been taken down, yeah. Apparently, the story was that in the war, they got everybody to cut them down to use the iron so they could make Spitfires or tanks or whatever out of it, because we were desperate to make tanks in the war. So everybody chopped these down. But I think that was just a trick, because it was all like, it's not refined iron, is it? It's just pig iron, I think. It's not refined for an industrial use, it's just for ornamental, isn't it? But here, the first thing that struck me about this town when I came here was all these railings here. I thought that was unusual, but obviously they couldn't take them down because people would fall down there, wouldn't they? Oh, here we go, look, it's a modern set of buildings here, look. These are, oh Christ, give me a break. Right. These buildings here, these are obviously modern, aren't they, look? Now look at this. This is how you'd build a house, isn't it, yeah? You build some buildings, yeah? You build it, so it's above ground. The first floor, there's no need to build it underground, is there? Or anything like that. And where's the door? Can't see a door yet. Oh, there we go. There's the door. Oh, built a ramp up for disabled people to get him up. We built a ramp for wheelchairs up. There you go. Ground floor. There's the door. Walk straight in. No need for any steps up, is there? To the front door. Anything like that, is there? So there you go. That's a contrast. That's a modern building. How I would imagine you'd build a building. Just walk straight in from the door. No need to build the building underground, is there? Here's another example. This is the White Rock Theatre. And I think if you look at this, you'll see that a similar thing has happened here. Same kind of thing, look. There we go, look. There's the original level of the ground there. And the mud flood came up to here. And to utilise the bottom first floor again, the ground floor, they dug down and utilised the front doors again. And steps up to the front door, there you go, entrance to the theatre. What's that, 3-4 foot high? And there it is again. So this is a theatre, if you there's a pier. Interesting. And there you go. It's Flacker.